You know, I was talking to my neighbor, Martha, the other day. Wonderful woman, just turned 75, and she said something that really stuck with me. She said, getting older isn't the problem. It's feeling like I'm losing my spark that worries me. And I think a lot of us can relate to that, can't we? It's not about the number of candles on the birthday cake. It's about how we feel as those candles add up. Do you wake up feeling stiff and achy? Do you find yourself forgetting little things more often than you'd like? Or maybe you just don't have the same energy you used to for the things you love. Well, here's the good news. Living comfortably, even joyfully, well into your 80s and 90s isn't just possible, it's something you can actively work toward. But here's the catch. There are a few common mistakes many of us make without realizing they're slowly chipping away at our health and happiness. Today, I want to share some of those mistakes with you, not to scare you, but to empower you. Because once you know what to avoid, you can start making small, simple changes that add up to a big difference. So, let's start with the first mistake, and this one might surprise you. Mistake number 1, sitting too much. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm retired. I've earned the right to relax. And you absolutely have. But here's the thing, our bodies weren't designed to stay still for hours on end. Sitting too much can lead to stiff joints, weaker muscles, and even poor circulation. It's like leaving a car in the garage for years. Eventually, it just doesn't run as smoothly. But the fix isn't running a marathon or lifting heavy weights. It's as simple as moving a little more throughout the day. Stand up during TV commercials and stretch. Take a short walk around the block after lunch. Even fidgeting, shifting in your chair, tapping your feet, helps keep the blood flowing. I remember my friend George, who turned 82 last year, told me he started setting a timer to remind himself to get up every hour. At first, he grumbled about it, but within a few weeks, he noticed his back pain had eased, and he felt more alert. Small changes, big results. Mistake number 2, skipping protein at breakfast. This one's a quiet culprit. So many of us grew up with toast and cereal for breakfast, and while there's nothing wrong with that occasionally, starting your day with only carbs can leave you feeling sluggish by mid-morning. As we age, our bodies need more protein to maintain muscle strength, and muscle isn't just for looking strong. It's what keeps us mobile, supports our balance, and even helps our metabolism. But here's the kicker, our bodies process protein less efficiently after 60, so we need more of it, not less. Now, I'm not saying you need to eat a steak for breakfast. Try adding a spoonful of peanut butter to your toast, or a couple of eggs with your oatmeal. Greek yogurt with some berries is another great option. My cousin Edna swears by her morning smoothie with a scoop of protein powder. She says it keeps her full until lunch and stops those mid-morning energy crashes. Mistake number 3, neglecting your social connections. This one's sneaky because it doesn't feel like a health mistake. But here's the truth, loneliness can be just as harmful as smoking or obesity. It's linked to higher risks of heart disease, dementia, and even a weaker immune system. Now, I get it, life changes. Friends move away, families get busy, and sometimes it feels harder to put yourself out there. But staying connected doesn't have to mean hosting big parties or joining a crowd. It's about those small, meaningful moments. A weekly phone call with an old friend. A coffee date with your neighbor. Even chatting with the cashier at the grocery store counts. My Aunt Rose, who's 88, makes it a point to call one person every morning, just a quick check-in. Some days it's her daughter, other days it's a friend from her old book club. She says those conversations are her daily dose of joy. And science backs her up, those little connections light up our brains and keep us emotionally resilient. Now, we've covered 3 big mistakes to avoid: sitting too much, skipping protein at breakfast, and neglecting social connections. But there are a couple more that might surprise you even more. Things like how you're sleeping and a common habit many of us don't even realize is draining our energy. But we'll get into those next time. For now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these mistakes affecting your life? Or maybe you've already found a trick that's helped you stay active, energized, or connected. Share it in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. And if this resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Because living well after 60 isn't about luck, it's about knowing what really works. Until next time, take care, and here's to your health and happiness. You know, it's funny, sometimes the things we think are helping us as we get older are actually working against us. Take my friend Harold, for example. He's 72, and for years, he believed that if he just rested more, he'd feel better. So, he spent most of his afternoons in his favorite recliner, watching TV. But instead of feeling refreshed, he started noticing his knees were stiffer, his energy was lower, and even his mood wasn't what it used to be. That's when his doctor told him something that changed everything. Harold, your body isn't wearing out from too much use, it's wearing out from too little. And that brings us to our next big mistake, one that so many of us make without even realizing it. Mistake number 4, avoiding strength training. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "I'm not lifting weights at my age," hear me out. Strength training doesn't mean bench pressing like a bodybuilder. It's about maintaining the muscles you have so you can keep doing the things you love, whether that's gardening, playing with grandkids, or even just getting up from a chair without needing help. After 60, we naturally lose muscle mass, about 1% to 2% per year, if we don't actively work to keep it. And that loss isn't just about strength, it affects our balance, our bone density, even our metabolism. But here's the good news, it's never too late to start. Simple exercises like seated leg lifts, standing up from a chair, without using your hands for support, or even carrying groceries can make a difference. My neighbor Louise started using small hand weights, just 2 pounds, while she watched her evening shows. Within a few months, she told me she could lift her grandbaby without her arms feeling shaky. And if you're worried about injury, start slow. Even resistance bands, those stretchy rubber tubes, are a fantastic way to build strength safely. The key is consistency, not intensity. Mistake number 5, skimping on water. This one sounds too simple, but dehydration is a huge problem for seniors, and it's often overlooked. As we age, our sense of thirst dulls, so we might not realize we're not drinking enough. And the effects? They sneak up on us: fatigue, confusion, even dizziness that we might blame on just getting older. Water keeps our joints lubricated, helps our digestion, and even supports brain function. But sipping plain water all day can feel like a chore, so here's a trick: make it enjoyable. Add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or even a few berries to your glass. Herbal teas count too. My sister-in-law keeps a pitcher of water with mint and orange slices in her fridge. She says it feels like a treat. And here's a little test: if your urine is pale yellow, you're hydrated. If it's dark, drink up. Mistake number 6, ignoring your sleep quality. We've all heard that older adults need less sleep, but that's a myth. What does change is our sleep patterns. We might wake up more often during the night or struggle to fall asleep. But poor sleep isn't just about feeling groggy, it's linked to memory problems, weight gain, and even a weaker immune system. Now, you might be thinking, what can I do? I've always been a light sleeper. But small tweaks can help. Try reducing screen time before bed. That blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. And here's a surprising tip: if you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep, don't lie there frustrated. Get up, read a book in dim light, or sip some chamomile tea. Stressing about sleep makes it worse. My buddy Frank swears by his wind-down routine: 30 minutes of soft music and a crossword puzzle before bed. He says it's made more of a difference than any sleeping pill. Now, these 3 mistakes, avoiding strength training, skimping on water, and ignoring sleep, might seem small, but they add up. And the best part? Fixing them doesn't require drastic changes. Just a little awareness and a few adjustments to your daily routine. But there's one more mistake I want to talk about, one that's so common, most of us don't even realize we're doing it. It's about how we talk to ourselves as we age. Because the stories we tell ourselves about what we can't do or what's too late for shape our reality more than we think. We'll dive into that next time. For now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried strength training or changed your sleep habits? Did you notice a difference? Share your story in the comments, you might inspire someone else. And if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Living well after 60 isn't about luck, it's about knowing what really works. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, small steps lead to big changes. You know, there's something my grandmother used to say that stuck with me all these years. She'd look at me with that wise twinkle in her eye and say, "Getting old is mandatory, but growing old is optional." At the time, I didn't quite understand what she meant. But now, as I see so many vibrant folks in their 70s, 80s, and beyond living with such joy and energy, it finally makes sense. The difference between just aging and thriving as we age often comes down to a few key choices we make every day. We've already talked about some important ones: staying active, eating well, keeping connected. But there's one last mistake that might be the most important of all. Mistake number 7, believing it's too late to change. This is the silent dream stealer, my friends. That little voice that whispers, "I'm too old to start something new," or "my best years are behind me." Here's the truth: your body and mind are far more adaptable than you think, no matter your age. Take my friend Evelyn. At 68, she decided to learn Italian because she'd always dreamed of visiting Tuscany. Her kids laughed and said, "Mom, you can't even remember where you put your glasses." But you know what? 2 years later, she was ordering her cappuccino in perfect Italian at a cafe in Florence. The brain is like a muscle, it grows stronger with use. And it's not just about big dreams. Maybe you've stopped trying new recipes because cooking for one doesn't seem worth it. Or given up on gardening because your knees aren't what they used to be. But when we stop challenging ourselves, we stop growing. Here's my challenge for you today. Think of one small thing you've been telling yourself you're too old for. Maybe it's dancing, painting, or even just trying that new coffee shop across town, and give yourself permission to try it this week. Mistake number 8, neglecting regular checkups. Now, I know what you're thinking: I feel fine, why bother the doctor? But here's something important to remember: many serious conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or even certain cancers can creep up without obvious symptoms. My neighbor Ted was the picture of health at 72, still playing golf twice a week. Then during a routine checkup, his doctor caught early signs of heart disease. Because they found it early, Ted was back on the golf course after some simple lifestyle changes. Make friends with your healthcare team. Get those regular screenings. And don't dismiss little changes. That new ache or that bit of fatigue you've been blaming on just getting older might be something your doctor can actually help with. So let's recap what we've learned. Keep moving, your body thrives on activity. Fuel yourself well, protein and hydration matter. Stay connected, relationships keep you young at heart. Maintain your strength, it's your independence insurance. Prioritize sleep, quality rest is healing. Challenge your mindset, you're never too old to grow. Partner with your doctor, prevention is powerful. But here's the most important thing to remember: you don't have to change everything at once. In fact, you shouldn't. Pick one small thing to focus on this week. Maybe it's adding protein to your breakfast, or calling an old friend, or doing some simple chair exercises. I want to leave you with this thought: the years ahead can be some of the most rewarding of your life. You've got wisdom, freedom, and the ability to focus on what truly matters. Don't let these common mistakes steal that from you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tips resonated most? What's one small change you're going to make? Share in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got lots more conversations like this coming your way. From my heart to yours, here's to living every year with joy, purpose, and good health. No matter what the calendar says, your best years can always be ahead of you.